Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Going live today for probably 15 minutes or so. So, for today's live, I want to talk about the Miami Heat's debut of three new players. And so, Davion Mitchell, Andrew Wiggins, and Kyle Anderson made their debuts for the Miami Heat a couple days ago. And the Miami Heat got destroyed by the Boston Celtics. So it wasn't a great start for the new look Miami Heat. But let's get into it and talk about what we can expect from these players going forward and how they might fit into the Miami Heat's future. So let's start off with Davion Mitchell. So we all know him for his defense. He got the starting nod in his first game with the Miami Heat, and he did so because he's got a reputation for locking down his opponents. And he did really good against Derek White in that first quarter. And in his debut, he did show that he's also not just a one-way player, a defensive-minded player, but he is also capable to run an offense. So in his Miami Heat debut, he didn't light up the scoreboard, didn't have the greatest game overall. Like none of the Miami Heat did. The whole team played like trash after the first quarter. But he did finish with only 4 points, but he still had a solid impact on the offensive end. He did record 4 assists. He didn't have a single turnover, which is huge. And it was a tough blowout loss to the Celtics, but there were some bright spots. He was definitely playing well with Bam Adebayo. He was definitely getting Bam in his spots, which was a good sign. So we know Mitchell offensively isn't going to put up numbers like Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero is our best offensive player this season. He's averaging 23.7 points per game. But what he can bring to the table is that true point guard playmaking ability. So, again, in his first game, he got that start, and you could immediately see his court vision. You also saw his dribble penetration. Like he was able to penetrate and get into the paint. He didn't have a lot of field goal attempts in the paint. Most of his shots came from three. He was 0 for 4 from three in that game, which was not really great, but you could see he does have the ability to get to the rim and get double teamed and find Kel'el Ware and Bam Adebayo and the 3-point shooters in the corner. So that was huge for the Miami Heat. And moving forward, it definitely is going to help. One play that stood out for me was within the opening minutes. He did run a great pick and roll with Bam Adebayo, and he did dish out a nice pocket pass. He also, again, had a really good cross-court pass to his new teammate, Andrew Wiggins, for an open three. So, again, his vision, playmaking is something that we definitely need to see moving forward. And again, even though he didn't score much, he showed the ability to get into the paint. He has that tough, aggressive style and attitude, which I think is going to fit really well with this Miami Heat organization. So when we talk about his shooting, he's not a really good shooter. He needs to definitely work on his shooting. He's only a 43% shooter overall. And from three, he's shooting only 33%, which is great, but it could improve. So anyway, I got some guys in the chat. We got Evan. What's up, Evan? Hope you're doing well. Top notch. That's my boy Trent. Trent, hope you're doing well, buddy. Evan asks what the Sigma. I don't know what that means. What's up, Rosdale the Great? Is this a cope stream where we just focus on the good? Because yeah, I'm okay with that. Laugh out loud. I'm trying to be positive right now versus how I was on Twitter, Raziel, during the game, actually, when they were playing the Celtics, and was being really negative. Obviously, the Miami Heat scored 85 points, which is freaking horrible. They scored 86 points against the Nets on Sunday, I believe, or Saturday, whenever they played them, which was a season low, and they topped that off with 85 points, another season low against the Celtics, which is a horrendous game. So anyway, Raziel says, but Terry FBI Van Rozier's, we'll get to Terry Rozier. I have some stats on Terry Rozier. He is horrible. And we have some good news, not good news for the person, but Terry Rozier has that same stomach illness that or stomach bug that Jaime and Tyler had. And so does Duncan, which is unfortunate, but it looks like Terry Rozier is questionable for tonight against the Thunder. So that could be a good thing for this Miami Heat team. Bakash says, "Hey, brother, what's up? What's up, Bakash? Hope you're doing well." Rosio the Great says, "Mitchell is a good fit. Love his defense. He has to start with Tyler." Um, yeah, man. I think I'm excited to see the actual, like the new look starting lineup, which is going to be Mitchell, Tyler, Kalel, Bam, and Wiggins. So I think defensively, Tyler having um, Mitchell in that backcourt with him versus a Duncan Robinson versus a Terry Rozier is going to be so much more beneficial because obviously Tyler is not going to guard Shea tonight, which is huge, even though Shea is going to cook Mitchell, obviously, because he's one of the best players in the NBA. But having Mitchell now in the backcourt, he can focus on guarding the best guards in the NBA, which will be helpful for Tyler Hero. Razil the Great says, and can we get Duncan in the starting lineup with Bam? And I guess, but like, who are we going to start him over? Who do you think? Like, would you rather have Mitchell coming off the bench and going back to the Tyler Duncan starting backcourt? What are your thoughts on that? Bikash says, from India, bro. Awesome, dude. I have a ton of Indian friends. So shout out to you. 1:30 a.m. for you, man. Okay, good. Thanks for watching. Raziel says, any word on why Highsmith is in Spo's doghouse 0 minutes last game? Who the hell knows, Raziel? Like, Spo's rotations have been poor this season, as we know. His substitution patterns have been terrible. He's been putting Bam and Tyler Hero like on the bench for too long at the start of fourth quarters and puts them in too late and the game gets out of hand. Like, his patterns of substitution have been bad. Like, his rotations have been bad. Like, the fact that you got Wiggins and Mitchell now in your starting lineup, and they are probably better point of attack defenders than Haywood. And Haywood was our best point of attack defender at one point, and now you have him off the bench who can help solidify our point of attack defense off the bench when Jovic comes in, when Hawkes comes in when he's healthy, when Burks or whoever it may be, Terry, the terrorist, when he comes on. The fact that he didn't play makes no sense to me whatsoever because you want to have him coming off the bench as a defensive minded player. So I'm not sure why this happened at all. Hold on one second. Trent wants to hop on. Go for it. Raziel the Great says Triple J has been struggling this year. Is this the sophomore slump or is that he's not that good? I think it's a combo, man. I think he got overhyped. He was a 23-year-old rookie, so an older rookie, 4-year player in college. And I don't think he's a finished product, but he was an 18th pick for a reason. He wasn't a top 5 pick. Not many picks outside of the top 15 typically pan out in the NBA in general. You see a lot of top 5, top 10 picks that don't even pan out. And so I think it's a combination of him just having a bad year. He's in a different role. He's not getting as much opportunity as he did last year when Jimmy was hurt, when Caleb was hurt, when Haywood was hurt. And so I think it's just a part of it is the role, and he's just struggling. He's not a good shooter. What's up?
No.
I can't hear you. Are you talking?
Oh, that was brushing my teeth.
All right, yeah, I can hear you right now. Well, but yeah, I think Hawkes is struggling. But anyway, let's talk a little bit about Wiggins' debut. So obviously he had a lackluster debut against the Celtics. We know over the years Wiggins has built a solid reputation as a two-way player himself, but again, his debut was not inspiring at all. He got the start at small forward over Haywood Highsmith, as we know, and he played 30 minutes, but he didn't do shit. Like, Wiggins, again, it's tough. I'm not going to blame him. It's only one game. He did grab 5 rebounds, 5 assists. He had 11 points on 3 for 12 shooting, which was crap. What was he, like 2 for 8, I think, from 3? But getting traded midseason to any team, as Trent would say, and Trent knows, is hard, right? It's hard to just start hooping with guys you don't know. It's hard to hoop with a different coach into a different system. Like, he was just trying to fit in, right? So I think Wiggins will be fine. I think Mitchell will be fine. I think even Kyle Anderson will be fine, even though he played like trash. But anyway,
They all play like crap. You know what I mean?
What are your thoughts on their debuts? Like, how do you like their fit? Because we can't judge them off one game, but because that whole Miami Heat team was dog shit after the first quarter, right? They scored 85 points, which is just
I mean, listen,
embarrassing.
We can't when we don't have our best player in Tyler, everything's gonna look different, 100%, right? So Tyler was out, and so I'm looking forward to see this team fully healthy with just our new pieces. It's not just Wiggins that played bad, like you said. Everybody played bad. I think they were like combined to like 7 for 20 something or something. It was awful. Like Wiggins was 2 for 8. Wiggins was shooting way too many threes at the 3-point line. Anderson didn't even hit a shot. Mitchell, he fell off the stat sheet a little bit, 5-4 and 5, I believe. But I'm not too worried, man. Like us Heat fans, let's not get too up and down with this team because this is what we're gonna be dealing with. Like this is it. There's no more Jimmy Butler, no more this. This is what we're gonna deal with. It's like we're gonna have our highs, but then we're gonna have our lows, and it sucks because we got a tough stretch of playing the best teams coming up. So when we play the Thunder and then we play the Mavericks, which
at least AD, Mr. Soft Sharman made out of glass already hurt, right?
Yeah,
so that's gonna be helpful. But they're still a solid team even without him. Still got Kyrie, still got PJ Washington, still got Gafford, Lively, right? But that should be a more winnable game now that they don't have AD, right?
Yeah. So I mean, we got 2 games left until All-Star break. Honestly, it's funny because like I was happy for Tyler to be an All-Star, and I'm still happy for him. I don't want him to play too much. We need him as much as possible down the stretch. Amir, if we go to the playoffs, we get 2 picks now. 2 picks. 2 picks in the draft. So we need to get to the playoffs. And what's ahead of us? Detroit. Detroit's they have a better record than us, I believe.
Game and a half. Yep.
Yeah. So we just got to lock in and focus. I'm looking forward to, like, even if we lose today, we're probably gonna lose today. Let's be honest. Playing OKC. But I need to see better performances from Wiggins. Wiggins needs to stop shooting threes. Why is he attempting 8 threes? And that could be on the coaching staff in the sense of putting him in those positions. But like 8 threes is unacceptable. You're not Tyler Hero. Relax, buddy.
Yeah, because he's only shooting 5.5 per game, I think, on the Warriors. So I mean, like, there's gonna be games where he does obviously shoot 8, maybe even 10. But like in your debut on a new team, it's like I don't get his mentality, and this is why he's not a Jimmy Butler. This is why he's not a superstar or even perennial all-star. He's a one-time all-star. Like, you're on a new team. Like, why are you just standing and shooting threes? Like, demand the ball. Like, Tyler's not here. You could be the alpha for the day with Bam. Like, get to the free throw line, right? Attack the rim, which we know he's a 3-level scorer. So that did kind of piss me off a little bit that he got to the free throw line once, and it was off the first possession or second of the game where he shot that 3 and got fouled, right? And he made all 3. He never got back to the line again. So anyway, let's read this comment real quick. So Raziel says, Trent, can you answer this one too? Because I was already talking crap on Spo. When is it okay for Spo to be questioned about his rotations? It is like they're allergic to criticism. Like his rotations have been bad. His substitution patterns have been bad. Because it's not just the rotations. It's who he's pairing up together, right? Like we know who the 9-man rotation is, but it's also like who he's playing with each other, who's starting at times, who's closing, all that stuff, right? So like, what are your thoughts on that and Spo?
Yeah, man, it's like I'm actually like, I mean, I've been calling out Spo since last year, but no, like since last year about this stuff. It's like the thing with Spo, I'm tired of him. First thing first is like he comes into the press conference is like, man, I love the adversity. I love this. I love this. I love that. He's like, man, we'll be in a different, like, you see what he said about the whole Jimmy Butler stuff, like, man, like, the record doesn't show, but, like, I love to be in these positions. Bro, he says it every time. Like, you come out every single time in like, he doesn't know what to say no more. It's like he's preaching the same thing. It's like, okay, if you say it once or twice, cool. But it's like, I feel like he's saying it frequently every interview. And it's like, bro, like, you have nothing else to say anymore. And then, like, the offense is horrible, right? Like, this offense should be 10 times better. And don't get me wrong. They did drop 85 and stuff like that. But, like, the last game with no Tyler, I kind of expected that. Tyler's our best guy. You know what I mean? But it's like, bro, that you got to look at Spo and just be like, bro, what are you doing? Are you doing your job right? Like, we can criticize the front office. We can criticize Jimmy. But at the end of the day, you're the head coach, and you put those players in the position. You run the offense. You run this whole team. There's nobody else telling you what to do and this and that. It's your team. You know what I mean? And so these rotations are horrible. I was going to make a video today talking about Haywood Highsmith. Haywood Highsmith is our best defender on Jason Tatum, and he barely played. I don't even think he played, or he barely played.
He played 0 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like, how do you go out there and not play your best perimeter defender on Jason Tatum?
And give Wiggins a break, because Wiggins was doing good job the first quarter. You're not going to stop Jason Tatum. He's a freaking all-star, maybe a borderline superstar. But anyway, like, why would you not want to have two guys you could throw at him now, right?
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make any sense at all. Yeah, he's been annoying. It's been rough without Tyler. You see, it's been rough with Tyler. We still scored 86 against the Nets. Tyler played that game, right? It's like the offensive rating has fallen off a cliff.
Yeah,
we were like 12 or 13. We're at number 21 in terms of offensive rating, bottom 10 again. Points per game right now, the Miami Heat are horrible. They're 24th, freaking bottom 7 in the NBA. It's like we can't keep getting away with this, right? We're going to rely on defense now with Mitchell and Wiggins now in the lineup, and hopefully Haywood getting some minutes tonight off the bench. But we still need to focus on offense, and we need Wiggins to step up, right? He needs to figure this out, which I think he will. Raziel said he'll probably be averaging 18 to 21. Maybe we'll see how he plays with Tyler. That's going to help open up the floor. He's saying Wiggins.
The Mavericks will be out without Anthony Davis, Derek Lively, Daniel Gafford, and Dwight Powell against Dallas. So they have no center.
That means Bam better take over, because right now Bam has been playing a lot better, right? We got to give Bam some credit since he moved to the 4 the last couple weeks. He's stepping up. He hasn't been playing like dog shit, which is great. Raziel, real quick, I'll read these. We'll get back into it. Wiggins wasn't forcing anything, though. He was taking his normal shots. They just weren't falling. I get it. Yeah, but he still took more threes than he typically does. J Money says, speaking of Bam, as we just did, it's Bam, really. Bam can't create on his own. In the post, can't really shoot. By now, he is supposed to take over as number 1. What are your thoughts on that?
What's the question? Sorry.
He's just basically saying Bam can't shoot, can't create in the post, and now he's supposed to be our number 1 or taking over.
Yeah. I mean, the problem what I'm realizing is that Tyler Hero's in a slump, but Bam's now playing good. They can never, one of them just can't play. They can't play great together at this point. I don't understand it, right? Like Bam's is playing good, but Tyler's in a slump. Tyler was playing great, but Bam was playing terrible in the beginning of the year. So like they're just flip-flopping, and we'll never be considered a good team if that's the case. You need 2 of your star players to be playing best basketball at this time, especially after All-Star break. You need to win majority of your games. You know what I mean? After All-Star break, there's no time to play. It's playoff time. You know what I mean? But Martell, man, dude, I didn't even know he was live, bro. I just did
a quick live. I'm trying to test out this new, like, whatever this is called, vertical live. As you can see, it's a different format. So I was just testing it out. I got to go in like 6 minutes. Anyway, I have to be somewhere. So we didn't do this intentionally without you, Martell. But yeah, I agree. And what does Roziel say? The biggest mystery this year is Spo playing Terry, Guangdong Tiger Rozier over Highsmith. Dude, Terry's been terrible. I said this earlier, Trent, before he hopped on. He has a stomach illness now. I think he has that same bug. Hopefully he's out tonight. Hopefully we don't have to see Terry take terrible shots and hit 20% of his threes and turn the ball over and miss layups at the rim, or even take just horrible layup attempts over Al Horford and freaking Porzingis. Like, I don't know what he was doing that last game, but Terry Rozier's getting way too many minutes. Why is Spo playing him? Like, I don't understand.
I don't know, but listen. I need to see a stat why Haywood Highsmith's not playing this year. So I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm gonna go look at some stats because, bro, like I know he's not playing the greatest, but like, why sign him to that extension and not play him? You know what I mean? So it's like I gotta look at all the games he has played and not played, because if that's the case, if we're not gonna use him, Amir, let's just put him in a trade package for this offseason.
Yeah, I know a guy we can trade him for.
Yeah, I know exactly.
Plus some other young guys. We'll get Jaime and Jovic out of here. Even though everybody loves Jovic and think he's untouchable. Chat, what do you think? People in the chat, do you think Jovic is untouchable? Obviously, he has good upside and potential, and he could possibly be a really good player. He's 21, right? Like, who knows? Like, give him a couple more seasons, but still, like, him being untradeable is ridiculous.
How do you feel about no one getting bought out, Amir. And when I say no one's getting bought out, like all the good players are staying. So like Kelly Olynyk's staying, Bruce Brown's staying. A lot of these players are staying. So like this buyout market is trash. Now, I seen you made a video on Chris Boucher. I like Chris Boucher. I really do. But there's only 3 players that have signed so far in the buyout market. That's really, really low.
Who's the other 2 besides Simmons?
Torrey Craig to the Celtics and Alex Len to the Lakers.
Lakers. Yep. Len is trash. He's just a body to get 6 fouls on Jokic. Right.
That's all. That's literally all. Yeah.
On who else is on? Who else is in the West? That's a big. I guess I don't know. Maybe Chet Holmgren. You could Hartenstein if they play those teams. You know, like I guess it's just a body out there. But he's a journeyman big. That doesn't move the needle. Torrey Craig doesn't move the needle for the Celtics either. He's not going to get any time. Ben Simmons, though, has he played yet for the Clippers? I haven't.
No, he hasn't. Yo, you know what I'm interested about, right? Trey Jones. Hear me out.
Yeah.
Trey Jones is on the Chicago Bulls. The Chicago Bulls got 7 freaking point guards.
And they're tanking. And they're rebuilding. They don't want anybody. They don't need anybody.
Dude, Trey Jones will fit perfect with this team because he is a legit point guard, dude. Like, the reason why he got kicked out of Spurs is because you got De'Aaron Fox and Chris Paul. Like, you don't need Trey Jones. But, like, I'm not going to lie. Trey Jones will fit perfect for this team, dude. I'm actually might make a video on that, dude.
What's his stats like? What has he been looking? How much minutes has he been playing? Like, I haven't heard his name. I know he's the younger brother, right, of Tyus Jones, who's amazing on the Heat.
He hasn't played much this year because he got Chris Paul. You're not going to play much when you have Chris Paul and then De'Aaron Fox, right? But I mean,
and then even before that, they had what's his name? I mean, they had Vassell and the other guards, you know, like just guards in general, right? Who was the other guy they had?
Johnson.
Castle. They had Castle too now. I forgot about him.
Yeah, so they have a lot of people over there. I mean, the season that I'll talk about is the 23-24. He had 10 points and he averaged 6 assists. 10 points and 6 assists.
Solid
yeah.
for a backup young
That's
man.
what I'm
How old is
saying.
he? 23?
He's young. Yeah, he's 25.
Young enough.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like he'll fit perfect, dude. There's no way the Chicago Bulls need him, but the Bulls are playing him, so I don't know.
So the buyout candidates, though, that we thought that would possibly get bought out, though, like all have mostly 2 years left. That's why they're not. Like Middleton probably will be bought out next year, right? Same with Olynyk. He has 2 years left. It's typically they don't want to buy you out when you have 2 years left, right? Or a season and a half. You know what I mean? Let's count this season plus the next. So that's probably why. And Bruce Brown is expiring. That was dumb. I don't know why he wants to stay with the Pelicans. Like that one doesn't make sense. Like, so that's why I made a video on Boucher, because Toronto is kind of rebuilding, tanking.
I like Boucher though. I like him. So I'm
guys like that might be available. Reggie Jackson. What about him? Like he's gonna get waived by the Washington has him. Smart. They're not gonna waive Smart because he's in the same boat, right? As he's in the same boat as Middleton. He has 2 years left, so they're not gonna waive all of them. But what do you think about like a Reggie Jackson? He's older. How old is he? Like 33?
No. We're not doing that.
I mean, but he's a point guard who has. I know, yeah, he's too old in my opinion. I'd much rather have Trey than him for sure,
dude. So how do you feel about the Suns asking for Jaime, Jovic, and draft picks?
That's what the trade was?
Yeah. Martel just made a video on it like 5 hours ago. But yeah, so they asked for
the whole package. Yeah, go ahead.
They asked for 22 Jaime, Jovic, and draft picks. They were offered 22 Jay Rich. Okay, yeah. So that's interesting. Yeah.
So was it Jimmy? They were going to give. Was Jimmy going to go to the Suns or the Warriors?
No. That was just for Kevin Durant, straight up.
So Jovic, Jaime, and 2 picks. No Kelowna Ware.
No, why didn't they do that trade?
They didn't do it.
Yeah.
And Jay Rich. So you're saying like two picks or whatever they would have got. So 2 picks, Jay Rich, Hawk. But how does the money work? We need someone else. The Jimmy money. What other players would they have gotten?
They said 22. I'm not good with Jersey, but they said 22. What's 22? Who's 22 in our team?
Jimmy Butler.
Oh, that's why. Okay, yeah, that's why the money works. So they're going to trade Jimmy. So they asked for Jimmy Butler, Jaime, Jovic, and draft picks, and Jay Rich. No. I'm sorry. They asked for Jimmy Butler, Jaime, Jovic, and picks for Durant, and they only offered him Jimmy Butler and Jay Rich. Yeah, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro. The Heat sold. I ain't gonna lie, they sold. That's bad. That's
Why
bad.
would you not? Why would you not do it? Because you still have Bam, who's 27. You still have Tyler, who's 25. You still have Khalil Ware, who's 20 years old. That's your three. Plus, you throw in Kevin Durant, a two-time NBA champion, who's still averaging 27 points per game, and you want to take advantage of having him to build the chemistry this season with Tyler and Bam, so that you have a full training camp and 40 games of them playing together, right? Where he could fit with Tyler, Bam, see how that works. Then in the offseason, you add other players, or you figure out who are the pieces you want to add when you have an expiring contract in Terry Rozier, who you could buy out. Or same with Tyler or Duncan Robinson. Yeah, Duncan, you probably want to keep maybe because he has that $9 million guarantee out of the 19. It probably makes sense to keep Duncan with Kevin Durant, another lethal three-point shooter, but you get rid of Terry. You figure out who you can add. How the hell? Jovic is a role player. Yes, of course, Jovic is a role player. I meant to say Hawkins is a role player. He is what he is, right? Like, he's having a bad season. He had a really good rookie year, but he doesn't scream out star power. He doesn't seem like he's a guy who's all of a sudden at age 25, 26 going to become a star. It doesn't make sense. I'm really mad that you just told me that. I would have done that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, this is pathetic, bro. This is pathetic. But listen, Amir, we'll talk. I gotta go. I'm about to start recording my video.
Yep. I gotta go too. I'm gonna read these comments real quick. I gotta hop out too. Thanks for hopping on, Trent. I'll talk to you soon, man. All right, so we got Jay, Miami Sports. If Tyler's not balling in the second half, you have to consider trading him too. That's a good point, man. Trade him while he's hot. I mean, I don't want to trade him personally right now, but it depends on who it's for. Raziel says there's too much on Spo's plate. He needs to get rid of the front office and focus on coaching alone. That's a good point. They are never trading Tyler. If they didn't move him for Spidey Mitchell, that's a fact. But Tyler's value is worth more. So also the flip side, other teams didn't necessarily want Tyler. At least Portland didn't. It was Butler, J. Rich, Ware, and Triple J. Okay, I'm not trading Ware. I don't want to trade Ware personally. I might be stupid, but I kind of like Khalil Ware. You got Jovic and second-round picks. I'm doing it live. Hi. What's going on? Yeah, it's in the – do you know where it is? Yeah. Sorry, I was just talking to my wife. So Jay Miami Sports says it was two separate trades. Jimmy straight up for Durant, and then a separate trade adding Ware, Jovic, and Triple J. Okay. That makes more sense that if you're trading the whole farm versus just Jovic and Triple J. If Ware wasn't involved, I would do it. Fan Lee, what's up, man? Hope you're doing well, buddy. You can't do it because Durant will not be playing at the end of his last contract. Okay. Makes sense. They countered with nowhere, J. Rich, Butler, and 2 picks. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Raziel, the front office is arrogant and out of touch. This is why no one moves. Yep. Pat Riley is stubborn. German Shepherd Ramos says, peace, my G. Hope you're doing well. Mifu, Butler, and J. Rich for KD. I wouldn't even reply to Pat. I wouldn't either. Jay Miami, they probably wouldn't send us the 3 first-round picks on that second trade. No. My boy Van Lee says, you wouldn't be able to replace Ware and Jovic as the Hornets and OKC own our future round draft picks. That's a good point. This whole front office has messed themselves up. Tyler being untouchable is laughable. I agree. And Alonzo for Kennard. Yep. Anyway, guys, I got to hop. I have somewhere I have to be. Thank you so much for tuning in this live. I appreciate you guys.